Morning guys, so I'm up, I've had a shower. What a night's sleep that was. Basically, I am usually a night owl. I usually go to bed around midnight, 11 o'clock. But last night I was so tired that I passed out by about 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe, and I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I kind of had that thing, you know, where you wake up and you're like, oh, I wonder what time it is. I bet it's like 8 a.m. because I usually wake up just before my alarm. So I thought, well, if I'm awake, the alarm's probably about to go off. And I looked at it, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. What is this? So the bed was very comfortable. We are very close to the main road, and it's a main trade route from Tanzania to Rwanda. So you get some big ass lorries go past, and they like to beep their horns. Doesn't matter if it's nighttime, they like to beep their horns. And also, I think somebody checked in next door, and the walls are thin to the extent where you can hear everything. But yeah, it was all right. I was just so tired, man. I just passed out. So I actually feel really well rested this morning. So yeah, I'm just gonna head over to the restaurant that we were at last night. I'm gonna grab some breakfast, probably an omelette, come back and we'll get on the road. So today we're travelling from, where are we? Today we're travelling from the southern part of Rwanda in the east to the southern part in the west, to Lake Cyohoha. So we're going from the border with Tanzania to the border with Burundi, and there's a little campsite there, and yeah, it should be good. The only thing is I don't know what the roads are like, but very much looking forward to it. Alright guys, so we're all packed and ready to go, and just looking at my phone, we need to head north for about an hour until we hit Ngoma district office, and then we're going to head west following signs for the NR6 towards Kibungo Hospital. And if we reach Kibungo Hospital, we're on the right road, and then we're just going to follow that direct over to Cyohoha. So fingers crossed it's going to go okay. Okay guys, we're going to skip ahead a bit here because we've already done this road, but it is a bright and beautiful day today. So we've just passed through Gatore and we're slowing down to admire this guy with his bananas. That is some mad skill. After about an hour, I made it to Ngoma district office, and my camera cut out about 2 minutes before I got there. But I pulled up in a little lay-by to change the battery and check my location. Ngoma is where two large roads intersect. If you keep heading north on the NR4, you could turn west to Kigali or keep heading north to Uganda. But we're taking the lower road, the NR6, across southern Rwanda. And so far, so good. This looks like a very nicely laid road. Let's enjoy it whilst we can. Rwanda isn't big on signage, so often smaller towns and villages don't have names as you enter. But if you look around for a bank, it will usually say which branch it is. So, Bank of Kigali, Kibungo branch. That's a pretty view. Cameras never do these things justice. Definitely looks like there's some building work going on here. They're putting down some pavement on the left. And here we go. This piece of road is definitely under construction.
It's not too bad. There's a bit of grit, but the earth is very well compacted, so it's solid to ride on. I don't know if this is a first layer of tarmac they've put down, or if it's old tarmac left over from a previous road they're about to pave over. I have no idea how roads are constructed. It's a little bumpy, but easy to ride on. I'm not sure what this white stuff on the ground is. It kind of looks like sand from a beach. It's quite bright and I've pulled my full face helmet down because it's getting in my mouth and eyes. And that's the last of the tarmac. This is a mixture of dust and gravel. There have been signposts along the way telling you to drive slowly. There's a short story by Rwandan author Akagera that sticks in my head. It's called Little Red Car, and it's about a woman getting married. When she was a child, she was badly injured when a car drove past too fast on a grit road, and a stone lodged itself in her leg. I won't spoil the story, but on her wedding day, she finds out who was driving. That story comes to mind whenever I'm driving on a road like this, even in the UK. It's a little dangerous for the person driving because it's easy to skid and you can chip your paintwork, but it's also really dangerous for pedestrians if stones start to fly. Thankfully, there aren't many people walking down this part, but I'm taking it really slow because I'm not used to driving in these conditions, and I'm not totally sure how the bike will react. There feels something a little bit Wild West about these one-street towns. Pit stop to check where I am. Yeah, I seem to be on the right road. The nice thing in Rwanda is that there is usually only one main road for miles, so you don't tend to get too lost. And if you do get lost, you just have to turn around and retrace your steps.
Since you ran away,
Resurfacing this road is definitely going to make a real difference to these guys. But it's always been something I think about from time to time, is why people never made use of carts. Nowadays, you see loads of people struggling to balance heavy loads on bicycles. But hop over to Kenya and you see loads of donkeys, often being used to pull carts or carry water. There aren't any donkeys in Rwanda, but there are loads of goats. If you've never done it before, Google goat cart. Not go-kart, but goat cart. I first learned about these whilst researching for my book Angarichna about the Australian outback in the 1930s. Aussies would hook up 6 or 7 little goats to a cart and they'd pull them along. The Americans seem to have bred really big goats to pull them. I just wonder why people don't use animals to carry water or take products to market. People do keep domesticated animals, lots of goats and cows, but they just don't use them in that way. I know I'm speedrunning a lot of this, but it's a long ride and I want to keep it interesting. But I have realised that I have amassed a large quantity of Insta footage of Rwanda. If other creators on YouTube would like to use it, I will try to find a way to share some of it. I sometimes get a bit frustrated because there is so little stock footage, especially free stock footage of Rwanda. It's tough for anyone trying to create content. And the specifications on stock footage sites are usually so restrictive that I can't upload my stuff. But it seems a shame to waste it all on a single video.
Hi guys, so I'm on the road to Cyohoha. It is a bit crazy, it's a steep learning curve because, you know, I have been off-roading before, but it's a mixture of off-road tarmac and lots of grit, and that can get a little bit scary sometimes because you're sort of working out if you're slipping, which gear you should be in. But I've just pulled over because there's this amazing view behind me. It's hard to kind of express just how beautiful Rwanda is, and just, you know, everywhere you go there's these hills and these steep valleys and just amazing views. So yeah, I'm just gonna get back on the bike and we're heading off down here.
This is one of my favourite pictures of the trip. It's such a cute looking bike.
Bugesera hano, komeza. Murakoze. Ngiye Cyohoha. Amakuru.
Nice jump.
Thank you. Put your keys in the bike before putting your gloves on. Otherwise, life is very, very difficult. Hano N6 Gatandatu in Gatandatu. Come in Gatandatu. Come is Bugesera Cyohoha.
Yes.
Murakoze cyane.
I was just making double sure about this road because it seems to have gotten a lot narrower and my sense of direction is pretty appalling. If there is a wrong road to go down, I will go down it. Okay, things are getting serious. I think we're past the worst of it, and a guy giving a little wave.
Hey guys, so I'm just driving along and I glanced over and there's this beautiful lake behind me, and Google says it's Lake Cyohoha, so I had to pull over and just take a quick picture.
Whilst I was taking pictures, this nice lady came up to tell me about the lake. We struggled a bit with the language barrier, but it was really sweet. She was just out walking her goat. Here's where it gets interesting. The road turns to thick gravel. I thought I could skirt down the mud at the side, but then it turned into a gravel bank to get back onto the road. So I'm pulling up to Google, how do I drive my motorbike across gravel? Because I've never done this before.
Okay, well this is a total nightmare. It's nothing but really thick gravel and I have no idea how far it goes on for. But this is the only road, so we've got to attempt it.
It doesn't really show up how bad it is on the action cam, but it is pretty thick gravel.
Okay, so I'm trying to... Oh, look at that guy go. It is possible. Huh. I'm trying to read up how to ride my bike on gravel, but I don't appear to have enough internet connection to make the video play. So it says stay loose. Those guys are clearly doing it. So I suppose let's give it a go. There's a whole bunch of bikes coming up the road. I should really have just gone straight on the road, but let's give it a go. They're managing it. I really don't want to do this, but let's give it a go. Oh, I'm not enjoying this at all.
Weirdly, it's not that hard to drive on. I followed the instruction to stay loose and very lightly guided the handlebars rather than gripping tightly. It was bumpy, but the bike pretty much steered itself. I was kind of surprised at how easy it was. I also found a furrow that other motos had created, and this gave a bit of extra grip. Thankfully, it didn't go on for too long. There were a few more patches up ahead, but by that point I'd gotten the hang of it. I don't know if this is jackfruit or breadfruit, but I've never had it. Tell me below if it's worth buying. I was pretty happy to see tarmac again. Hold your breath? Oh my goodness. Here's a guy transporting an entire table. Oof, hold your breath again. I definitely think a full face helmet is required. Okay, we're about to open out onto the wetlands. About 10% of the country is wetlands, and the government is really invested in protecting it and supporting conservation projects. This is the Akagera River, which runs through Akagera National Park, where the lions and elephants are. It's one of the main tributaries of the Nile in Egypt. Nyungwe Forest in Rwanda is considered to be one of the furthest sources of the Nile. The Akagera wetland is one of the largest protected wetlands in East Africa. Let's park up and take a look. This is the Akagera River. And the bridge is bouncing. I can feel a truck's just gone over it, and I can feel that the bridge is bouncing. There's leaves and twigs floating down it. Comienza Cyohoha? Cyohoha? Ano comienza?
Aho uragera igashora genda ujya Kigali.
No Kigali, Cyohoha.
Cyohoha na
Murakaze.
Cyane mvuga n'umuzungu none. Ariko bayibonyera. Bazo mu cyongereza.
It's really crazy that wherever you go in Rwanda, even in places that look wild and out of the way, you always find a constant stream of people. There's never anywhere that you can go to be completely alone. I find this road amazing, that it's been built to span the wetlands. There's a bridge in Mugesera that does this, and it's entirely made out of leaves, so it's floating across the water. But I can't even imagine how you'd make a stable road like this across marshland. I think this is one of my favourite parts of the journey, just casually driving through the wetlands, seeing people living life and the huge sky above. This is maybe one of the flattest places in Rwanda. Just stopping to check my camera is recording. I have to remove my gloves because the touchscreen doesn't work with them on. Good luck in Rwanda. There's about 7 of us waiting for the road to clear up. Here passed within an inch of me. He's tearing along, clearly can't wait for a minute. Either the world's ending or he's found a spider on his dashboard. Here it ends. We have finally reached the end of the mud road. Listen to me climb those gears. It's crazy to think we're some of the last people to drive across that road before it becomes paved. Almost all roads look like that once upon a time. It's the end of an era. Oh my goodness. This is the guy who couldn't slow down for a second to give motos some space. And now he's driving so slowly he's holding everybody up. What was the point of all that? Another mysterious town with no place name, but we can see from the phone shop that it's called Akagera. If you see someone carrying buckets at a bus stop, it's usually something like samosa, amandazi or chapati. You can just buy them through the window of the bus and eat them as you travel. I probably should have taken the paved road on the right, but force of habit. Right guys, if I'd turned right here, I would have been going in the right direction. I really need to get a phone holder. As it was, I carried on straight ahead and ended up at the Burundian border. That wasn't really my intention, and I turned around and came back. Let's just pretend that never happened. Hi guys, I think I just found the best piece of road in the whole of Rwanda. I don't know if you can see it behind me. It is absolutely brand new, so it's perfectly laid and there is nobody on it. It's kind of good fun. So yeah, I finally found the right road. I accidentally ended up on the Burundian border, like at the crossing, but I was supposed to come this way, and so if we carry on up here, that should eventually end in a campsite, hopefully. Okay guys, really long story short, you know how I said Rwanda isn't big on signage? Well, neither is the campsite. So I totally overshot the turning and ended up 40 minutes down the road, where I stopped to admire the wetlands, got directions from locals, drove 40 minutes back the way I'd just come, and finally found the turn-off. I'd been driving for about 6 hours by this point, and I'd had enough. I'd also run out of camera batteries and had to switch to a much older camera, which sadly isn't as good quality, just in time to reach the beautiful shores of Lake Cyohoha. This is a cute little town. I love the brightly painted buildings. It reminds me of Bristol.
Oh, sweet Jesus, I think we finally found Lake Cyohoha. I was starting to think I was in the middle of absolutely nowhere, but I think we're almost there. Oh dear God, I can taste the mutzig.
One final grit-covered, steeply downhill mud road left to go.
Okay, this is getting better and better.
We have made it to Cyohoha campsite. If you've made it to the end of this video, congratulate yourself. Go pour a beer or a Fanta or something. It's been quite a journey. If you've still got the energy, hit the like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.